You say to the boy, "Open your eyes." When he opens his eyes and sees the light, you make him cry out, saying, "O blue, come forth. O blue, arise. O blue, ascend. O blue, come in." I'm sitting with some friends in this cafe, drinking coffee, served by young refugees from Bosnia. The war rages across the newspapers and through the ruined streets of Sarajevo. Tanya said, "Your clothes are on back to front and inside out." Well, since there are only two of us here, I took them off and put them right then and there. I'm always here before the doors open. What need of so much news from abroad, while all that concerns either life or death is all transacting and at work within me? I step off the curb and a cyclist nearly knocks me down.
Look where the fuck you're going!
Flying in from the dark, he nearly parted my hair. I step into a blue funk.
The doctor in St. Bartholomew's Hospital thought he could detect lesions in my retina. The pupils dilated with belladonna. The torch shone into them with a terrible, blinding light. Look left, look down, look up, look right. Blue flashes in my eyes. Blue bottle buzzing. Lazy day. The sky blue butterfly sways on a cornflower, lost in the warmth of the blue heat haze. Singing the blue, quiet and slowly. Blue of my heart, blue of my dreams. Slow blue love of delphinium day.
Blue is the universal love in which man bathes. It is the terrestrial paradise. Blue.
I'm walking along the beach in a howling gale. Another year is passing. In the roaring waters, I hear the voices of dead friends. Love is life that lasts forever. My heart's memory turns to you. David, Howard, Graham, Terry, Paul, David, Howard, Graham,
What if this present were the world's last night? In the setting sun your love fades, dies in the moonlight, fails to rise, thrice denied by cockcrow, in the dawn's first light. Look down. Look left. Look up. Look right. The camera flash, atomic bright, photos the CMV. The green moon, and the world turns magenta. My retina is a distant planet, a red Mars from a boy's own comic, with yellow infection bubbling at the corner. I said, this looks like a planet. The doctor says, oh, I think it looks like a pizza.
The worst of the illness is the uncertainty. I've played this scenario back and forth each hour of the day for the last 6 years. Blue transcends the solemn geography of human limits. I'm home with blinds drawn. HB is back from Newcastle, but gone out. The washing machine is roaring away. The fridge is defrosting. These are his favorite sounds.
I've been given the option of being an inpatient at the hospital or coming in twice a day to be hooked to a drip. My vision will never come back. The retina is destroyed. Though when the bleeding stops, what is left of my sight might improve. I have to come to terms with sightlessness. If I lose half my sight, will my vision be halved?
The virus rages fierce. I have no friends now who are not dead or dying. Like a blue frost, it caught them. At work, at the cinema, on marches, beaches, in churches on their knees, running, flying, silent, or shouting protest. It started with sweats in the night, swollen glands. Then the black cancers spread across their faces. As they fought for breath, TB and pneumonia hammered at the lungs, and toxo at the brain. Reflexes scrambled. Sweat poured through hair, matted like lianas in the tropical forest. Voices slurred, and then were lost forever. My pen chased this story across the page, tossed this way and that in the storm. The blood of sensibility is blue. I consecrate myself to find its most perfect expression.
My sight failed a little more in the night. HB offers me his blood. It'll kill everything, he says. The drip of DHPG trills like a canary. I am accompanied by a shadow into which HB appears and disappears. I've lost the sight on the periphery of my right eye. I hold out my hands before me, slowly pop. At a certain moment, they disappear out of the corner of my eyes. This is how I used to see. Now, if I repeat the motion, this is all I see.
I shall not win the battle against the virus, in spite of the slogans like living with AIDS. The virus was appropriated by the well, so we have to live with AIDS while they spread the quilt for the moths of Ithaca across the wine-dark sea. Awareness is heightened by this, but something else is lost. A sense of reality drowned in theater. Thinking blind, becoming blind. In the hospital, it is as quiet as a tomb. The nurse fights to find a vein in my right arm. We give up after 5 attempts. Would you faint if someone stuck a needle into your arm? I've got used to it, but I still shut my eyes.
The Gautama Buddha instructs me to walk away from illness. But he wasn't attached to a drip.
resign myself to fate. Blind fate. The drip stings. A lump swells up in my arm. Out comes the drip. An electric shock sparks up my arm. How can I walk away with a drip attached to me? How am I going to walk away from this?
I fill this room with the echo of many voices who passed time here. Voices unlocked from the blue of the long-dried paint. The sun comes and floods this empty room. I call it my room. My room. My room has welcomed many summers, embraced laughter and tears. Can it fill itself with your laughter? Each word a sunbeam glancing in the light. This is the song of my room. David, Howard, Graham, David, Paul, Derek, Graham, Howard, David, blue stretches, yawn, and is awake. Blue, blue stretches, yawns, and is awake. Blue.
There's a photo in the newspaper this morning of refugees leaving Bosnia. They look out of time. Peasant women with scarves and black dresses stepped from the pages of an older Europe. One of them has lost her 3 children.
Lightning flickers through the hospital window. At the door, an elderly woman stands waiting for the rain to clear. I ask her if I can give her a lift. I've hailed a taxi. Can you take me to Hope and Tube? On the way, she breaks down in tears. She's come from Edinburgh. Her son is in the ward. He has meningitis. Has lost the use of his legs. I'm helpless as the tears flow. I can't see her. Just the sound of her sobbing. One can know the whole world without staring abroad. Without looking out of the window, one can see the way of heaven. The further one goes, the less one knows.
pandemonium of image, I present you with the universal blue. Blue, an open door to soul, an infinite possibility becoming tangible. Here I am again in the waiting room. Hell on earth is a waiting room. Here you know you are not in control of yourself, waiting for your name to be called.
712213.
Here you have no name. Confidentiality is nameless. Where is 666? Am I sitting opposite him, her? Maybe 666 is the demented woman switching the channels on the TV. What do I see past the gates of conscience? Activists invading Sunday Mass in the cathedral. An epic Tsar Ivan denouncing the Patriarch of Moscow. A moon-faced boy who spits and repeatedly crosses himself. As he genuflects, will the pearly gates slam shut in the faces of the devout? The demented woman is discussing needles. There's always a discussion of needles here. She has a line put into her neck.
How are we to be perceived? If we are to be perceived at all. For the most part, we're invisible. If the doors of perception were cleansed, well, then everything would be seen as it is.
The dog barks. The caravan passes. Marco Polo stumbles across the blue mountain. Marco Polo stops and sits on a lapis throne by the river Oxus, while he is ministered to by the descendants of Alexander the Great. The caravan approaches. Blue canvases fluttering in the wind. Blue people from over the sea, ultramarine, have come to collect the lapis with its flecks of gold.
The road to the city of Aquaviti is protected by a labyrinth, built from crystals and mirrors, which in the sunlight cause terrible blindness. The mirrors reflect each of your betrayals, magnify them, and drive you into madness. Blue walks into the labyrinth. Absolute silence is demanded of all its visitors, so their presence does not disturb the poets who are directing the excavations. Digging can only proceed on the calmest of days, as rain and wind destroy the finds. The archaeology of sound has only just been perfected, and the systematic cataloguing of words has until recently been undertaken in a haphazard way. Blue watched as a word or phrase materialized in scintillating sparks, a poetry of fire which cast everything into darkness with the brightness of its reflections.
As a teenager, I used to work for the Royal National Institute for the Blind on their Christmas appeal for radios with dear Miss Punch, 70 years old, who used to arrive each morning on her Harley Davidson. She kept us on our toes. Her job as a gardener gave her time to spare in January. Miss Punch Leatherwoman was the first out dyke I ever met. Closeted and frightened by my sexuality, she was my hope. Climb on, let's go for a ride. She looked like Edith Piaf, the sparrow, and wore a cockeyed beret at a saucy angle. She bossed all the other old girls who came back year after year for her company. In the paper today, 3/4 of the AIDS organizations are not providing safer sex information. One district said they had no queers in their community, but you might try District X. They have a theater.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
My sight seems to have closed in. The hospital is even quieter this morning. Hushed. I have a sinking feeling in my stomach. I feel defeated. My mind bright as a button, but my body falling apart. A naked light bulb in a dark and ruined room. There's death in the air here, but we're not talking about it. But I know the silence might be broken by distraught visitors screaming, "Help, sister, help, nurse," followed by the sound of feet rushing along the corridor. Then silence.
Over the mountains is the shrine to Rita, where all at the end of the line call. Rita is the saint of the lost cause, the saint of all who are at their wits' end, who are hedged in and trapped by the facts of the world. These facts, detached from cause, trap the blue-eyed boy in a system of unreality. Would all these blurred facts that deceive dissolve in his last breath? For accustomed to believing in image, an absolute idea of value, his world had forgotten the command of essence. Thou shalt not create unto thyself any graven image, although you know the task is to fill the empty page. From the bottom of your heart, pray to be released from image.
The image is a prison of the soul. Your heredity, your education, your vices and aspirations, your qualities, your psychological world. I've walked behind the sky.
For what are you seeking?
The fathomless blue of bliss.
To be an astronaut of the void, leave the comfortable house that imprisons you with reassurance. Remember, to be going and to have are not eternal. Fight the fear that engenders the beginning, the middle, and the end. For blue, there are no boundaries or solutions. Time is what keeps the light from reaching us.
How did my friends cross the Cobalt River? With what did they pay the ferryman? As they set out for the indigo shore, under this jet-black sky, some died on their feet with a backward glance. Did they see death with the hellhounds pulling a dark chariot, bruised blue-black, growing dark in the absence of light? Did they hear the blast of trumpets?
David ran home, panicked, on the train from Waterloo, brought back exhausted and unconscious to die that night. Terry mumbled incoherently into his incontinent tears. Others faded like flowers, cut by the scythe of the blue-bearded reaper, parched as the waters of life receded. Howard turned slowly to stone, petrified day by day, his mind imprisoned in a concrete fortress, until all we could hear were his groans on the telephone, circling the globe. Mad Vincent sits on his yellow chair, clasping his knees to his chest. Bananas. The sunflowers wilt in the empty pot, bone dry, skeletal. The black seeds picked into the staring face of a Halloween pumpkin. He is unaware of Blue standing in the corner, Fevered eyes glare at the jaundiced corn, core of the jet-black crows spiraling in the yellow. The lemon goblin stares from the unwanted canvases thrown in the corner. Sourpuss Suicide screams with evil, clasping cowardly Yellow Belly, slit-eyed.
Blue fights diseased Yellow Belly, whose fetid breath scorches the trees yellow with ague. The trail is the oxygen of his devilry. He'll stab you in the back. Yellow Belly places a jaundiced kiss in the air. The stink of pus blinds Blue's eyes. Evil swims in the yellow bile. Yellow Belly's snake eyes poison. It crawls over Eve's rotting apple, wasp-like. Quick as a flash, he stings Blue in the mouth. His hellish legions buzz and truckle in the mustard gas. They'll piss all over you. Sharp, nicotine-stained fangs bared. Blue transformed into an insecticutor. His blue aura frying the foes.
We all contemplated suicide. We hoped for euthanasia. We were lulled into believing morphine dispelled pain, rather than making it tangible, like a mad Disney cartoon transforming itself into every conceivable nightmare. Carl killed himself. How did he do it? I never asked. It seemed incidental. What did it matter if he swigged prussic acid or shot himself in the eye? Maybe he dived into the streets from high up in the cloud-lapped skyscrapers. The nurse explains the implant. You mix the drugs and drip yourself once a day. The drugs are kept in a small fridge they give you. Can you imagine traveling around with that? The metal implant will set the bomb detector off in airports, and I can just see myself traveling to Berlin with a fridge under my arm.
Jarman to airport information, please.
Impatient youths of the sun, burning with many colors, flick combs through hair in bathroom mirrors. Fucking with fusion and fashion. Dance in the beams of emerald lasers. Mating on suburban duvets. Cum-splattered nuclear breeders. What a time that was. The drip ticks out the seconds. The source of a stream along which the minutes flow, to join the river of hours, the sea of years, and the timeless ocean. The side effects of DHPG, the drug for which I have to come into hospital to be dripped twice a day, are low white blood cell count, increased risk of infection, low platelet count, which may increase the risk of bleeding, low red blood cell count, anemia, fever, rash, abnormal liver function, chills, swelling of the body, edema, infections, malaise, irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, hypertension, low blood pressure, hypotension, abnormal thoughts or dreams, loss of balance, ataxia, coma, confusion, dizziness, headache, nervousness, damage to nerves, paresthesia, psychosis, sleepiness, somnolence, shaking, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, anorexia, diarrhea, bleeding from the stomach or intestine, intestinal hemorrhage, abdominal pain, increased number of one type of white blood cell, low blood sugar, shortness of breath, hair loss, alopecia, itching, pruritus, hives, blood in the urine, abnormal kidney function, increased blood urea, redness, inflammation, pain or irritation, phlebitis. Retinal detachments have been observed in patients both before and after initiation of therapy. The drug has caused decreased sperm production in animals and may cause infertility in humans, birth defects in animals. Although there is no information in human studies, it should be considered a potential carcinogen since it causes tumors in animals. If you are concerned about any of the above side effects, or if you would like any further information, please ask your doctor. In order to be put on the drug, you have to sign a piece of paper stating you understand that all these illnesses are a possibility. I really can't see what I have to do. I'm going to sign it. The darkness comes in with the tide. The year slips on the calendar. Your kiss flares. A match struck in the night flares and dies. My slumber broken. Kiss me again. Kiss me. Kiss me again and again. Kiss me again. Kiss me. Kiss me again and again. Never enough. greedy lips. Speedwell eyes, blue skies.
A man sits in a wheelchair, hair awry, munching through a packet of dried biscuits, slow and deliberate as a praying mantis. He speaks enthusiastically, but sometimes incoherently, of the hospice. He says, "Can't be too careful who you mix with there." I mean, there's no way of telling the visitors, patients, or staff apart. The staff have nothing to identify them, except they're all into leather. The place is like an S&M club. This hospice has been built by charity. The names of the donors displayed for all to see. Charity has allowed the uncaring to appear to care, and is terrible for those dependent on it. Charity is big business. Well, we go along with this. So the rich and powerful who fucked us over once, fuck us over again, and get it both ways. We've always been mistreated, so if anyone gives us the slightest sympathy, we overreact with our thanks. I am a menace, muff-diving size queen.
Manish muff diving size queen with bad attitude. A sneaking psychophag molesting the flight of privacy. Boring lesbian boys.
So you subcontract now.
Perverted heterodemon crossing purpose with death.
I am a cock-sucking, straight, acting lesbian man.
He is a cock-sucking, straight, acting lesbian man.
With ball-crushing bad manners, laddish nymphomaniac.
Ball-crushing bad manners, lavish nymphomaniac.
Spunky, sexist desires of incestuous inversion and incorrect terminology. I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay.
I am a not gay.
He is a not gay. He is a not. I am a cock-sucking, straight acting. He is a not gay. I am a not gay.
HB is in the kitchen greasing his hair. He guards the space against me. He calls it his office. At 9, we leave for the hospital. HB comes back from the eye department, where all my notes are muddled. He says, it's like Romania in there. 2 light bulbs grimly illuminate the flaking walls. There is a box of dolls in the corner, indescribably grimy. The doctor says, well, of course, the kids don't see them. There are no resources to brighten the place up.
My eyes sting from the drops. Infection has halted. The flash leaves scarlet after images of the blood vessels in my eye. Teeth-chattering February, cold as death, pushes at the bedsheets. An aching cold, interminable as marble. My mind, frosted with drugs, ices up. A drift of empty snowflakes, whiting out memory. Cross-eyed, meddlesome consciousness. A blinkered twister, circling in spirals. Shall I? Will I? Doodling death watch. Mind how you go. Oral DHPG is consumed by the liver, so they've tweaked a molecule to fool the system. What risk is there? If I had to live 40 years blind, I might think twice. Treat my illness like the Dodgems. Music, bright lights, bumps, and throw yourself into life again. Pills are most difficult. Some taste bitter, others are too large. I'm taking about 30 a day, a walking chemical laboratory. I gag on them as I swallow them, and they come up half dissolved in the coughing and spluttering. My skin sits on me like the shirt of Nessus. My face irritates, as do my back and legs at night. I toss and turn, scratching, unable to sleep. I get up, turn on the light, stack it to the bathroom. If I become so tired, maybe I'll sleep. Films chase through my mind. Once in a while, I dream a dream as magnificent as the Taj Mahal. I cross southern India with a young spirit guide. India, the land of my dreaming childhood. Souvenirs in Moselle's peach and grey living room. Granny, called Moselle. Called Girlie. Called May. An orphan who lost her name, which was Reuben. Jade monkeys, ivory miniatures, mahjong, the winds and bamboos of China. All the old taboos of bloodlines and blood banks, blue blood and bad blood, our blood, your blood. I sit here, you sit there. As I slept, a jet slammed into a tower block. The jet was almost empty, but 200 people were fried in their sleep. The earth is dying, and we do not notice it. Can you hear me? Ages and eons quit the room, exploding into timelessness. No entrances or exits now. No need for obituaries or final judgments. We knew that time would end after tomorrow at sunrise. We scrubbed the floors and did the washing up. It would not catch us unawares.
The white flashes you are experiencing in your eyes are quite common when the retina is damaged. Damaged retina has started to peel away, leaving innumerable black floaters, like a flock of starlings swirling around in the twilight.
I'm back at St. Mary's to have my eyes looked at by the specialist. The place is the same, but there is new staff. How relieved I am not to have the operation this morning, to have a tap put in my chest. I must try and cheer up HB, as he's had a hell of a fortnight. In the waiting room, a little grey man over the way is fretting as he has to get to Sussex. He says, "I'm going blind. I cannot read any longer." A little later, he picks up a newspaper, struggles with it for a moment, and throws it back on the table. My stinging eye drops have stopped me reading, so I write this in a haze of belladonna. The little grey man's face has fallen into tragedy. He looks like Jean Cocteau without the poet's refined arrogance. The room is full of men and women squinting into the dark in different states of illness. Some barely able to walk, distress and anger on every face, and then terrible resignation. Jean Cocteau takes off his glasses. He looks about him with an undescribable meanness. He has black slip-on shoes, blue socks, grey trousers, a Fair Isle sweater, and a herringbone jacket. The posters that plaster the walls above him have endless question marks. HIV, AIDS? AIDS? HIV? Are you affected by HIV, AIDS? AIDS? ARC? HIV? This is a hard wait. The shattering bright light of the eye specialist's camera leaves that empty sky blue after image. Did he really see green the first time? The after image dissolves in a second. As the photographs progress, colors change to pink and the light turns to orange. The process is a torture, but the result, stable eyesight, worth the price, and the 12 pills I have to take a day. Sometimes looking at them, I feel nauseous and want to skip them. It must be my association with HB, lover of the computer and king of the keyboard, that brought my luck on the computer, which chose my name for this drug trial. I nearly forgot. As I left St. Mary's, I smiled at Jean Cocteau. He gave a sweet smile back. I caught myself looking at shoes in a shop window. I thought of going in and buying a pair, but stopped myself. The shoes I'm wearing at the moment should be sufficient to walk me out of life.
Pearl fishers in Asia seas, deep waters washing the Isle of the Dead. In coral harbors, amphora spill gold across the still seabed. We lie there, fanned by the billowing sails of forgotten ships. tossed by the mournful winds of the deep. Lost boys sleep forever in a dear embrace, salt lips touching. In submarine gardens, cool marble fingers touch an antique smile. Shell sounds whisper deep love, drifting on the tide forever. The smell of him, dead good looking, in beauty's summer. His blue jeans round his ankles, bliss in my ghostly eye. Kiss me on the lips, on the eyes. Our name will be forgotten in time. No one will remember our work. Our life will pass like the traces of a cloud and be scattered like mist that is chased by the rays of the sun. For our time is the passing of a shadow, and our lives will run like sparks through the stubble. I place a delphinium, blue, upon your grave.